Hello once again, my beautiful movie peeps. Let's talk about some news. Some of the things we'll be discussing here today, guys, is James Gunn has dropped a new look at his Superman movie, revealing Krypto. We have our first character descriptions for Scream 7, giving us a better idea of the plot of this movie. And I think the final nail in the coffin that lets us know Knull is looking to be the villain for Spider-Man 4. Oh, we're going to be diving into that along with so much more, so you guys know the drill. Leave your opinions down below, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's jump into the first story. And well, the first thing I wanted to discuss here today with you guys is the trailer for a movie called The Monkey. Now, this is being produced by Neon and is also directed by Osgood Perkins, who just came out with this year's Longlegs, a horror movie that had a ton of buzz surrounding it. So it seems like people would be interested to see what the next horror movie this director is doing. And you know what? I am fairly interested in this. The basic premise seems to be about this monkey clapping toy, very much like the one you saw in Toy Story 3. But anytime the monkey claps, someone will randomly die of a horrible accident. And with that, it does kind of give off Final Destination vibes with just random accidents causing your death. I'm for sure interested to see if I end up liking this one, because although I did like Longlegs, I didn't love it as much as other horror fans did this year. But I'd love to be fully on board with the Osgood Perkins way of directing, because I do like his style and vibe in horror movies. And well, speaking about horror movies, we got our first set photo letting us know that The Conjuring 4, which is titled The Conjuring Last Rites, has finally begun production. James Wan, who is producing the movie, not directing it, did post this photo to his Instagram showing the chairs of Ed and Lorraine Warren with the caption reading, "Always good to see and hang out with old friends. Gonna miss everyone. End of an era." Kind of putting to rest the rumors that The Conjuring 4 is set to be the last Conjuring movie. Now, whether it'll be the last movie in the Conjuring universe, that's yet to be seen, and I almost highly doubt that, especially with Warner Brothers having already announced a Conjuring TV show. I'm thinking we're still headed for a lot of spin-offs in this universe, but the main series, the Conjuring movies, look to end with this fourth film. Now, this is once again being directed by Michael Chavez, who did the last Conjuring movie, and look, to be honest with you, that third film was pretty forgettable. It wasn't really awful, but nothing about it stuck out to me. I remember watching it, but I can't even bring up something that I thought was really good in that movie the way I could for the first and second film. So really, my only hope this time around is that the movie is just memorable, that it's a really good story, and that they have good set sequences, because if this is going to be the end of those characters, please go off with a bang. What are you guys' hopes and dreams with The Conjuring 4, and what spin-offs do you think should take the place of the main series? Bringing us here to talk about some Scream 7. Now, as someone who is very hesitant with this new movie, I am waiting for details and information about the plot so I can jump on that hype train and try to get myself excited for Neve Campbell's sake and Kevin Williamson, who is now directing this movie. And with Scream 7 looking to start filming by the beginning of next year, we are now getting little tidbits. So we have here names of characters along with a small description of them. This is kind of something typical we would get a lot when it would come to like Scream 5 or Scream 6. Now, the one thing I will note, these names are most likely going to change. Like, for instance, one of the first characters we get here is a person by the name of Taylor, who is 17 to 18 years old and described to be Sydney's daughter. If you go back to the older videos where we were looking at the character descriptions and names for the people who would be in Scream 5, usually these were code names, and the only thing that kept them the same is the first letter of their name. So Sydney's daughter will most likely not be named Taylor. In fact, there were some rumors just a couple of weeks back that Sydney's daughter would be named Tatum in Scream 7, Sydney naming her after her friend who died in the first Scream movie, which I think would be a great homage and would make sense for the franchise. So as I go through these, I'd love to know from you guys, what do you think the real name would be based off the first letter? Next up, we have a character named Brian, who will also be 17 to 18 years old and is Taylor's boyfriend. Always got to have that boyfriend character, and he's always got to be the one most suspicious of whether they're Ghostface. Another character named Chelsea, who will be 17 to 18 years old, the heartbreaker of the group. Holly, 17 18, Taylor's rich friend and queen bee of the group. Logan, 17 18, Taylor's hot but creepy neighbor with Ted Bundy vibes. I don't know, whenever you describe a character as having serial killer vibes, to me that feels like it's the most obvious trying to be Ghostface, so they're not going to be Ghostface. Or maybe maybe that's what they want us to think, and it will be Ghostface. And Jennifer, 40, 50 years old, Logan's mom, and Sydney's friend. Now, those descriptions came to us from Daniel RPK, but we had another scooper come out with this plot that also backs up Daniel RPK's descriptions. Part of the plot of the movie of Scream 7 is we'll have two main storylines, one about Sid and her friends from the neighborhood, and second one about Sid's teen daughter, Taylor, could be a code name, and her friends. Each of them will have to deal with Ghostface. That looks like what we're doing here this time around. To me, it sounds like Scream 7 is what kind of Scream 5 should have been, focusing on Sydney and her daughter with the daughter's group of friends. They also make it sound like whatever neighborhood Sydney is living in will also be a big part of the movie, because she's got this neighbor friend that she trusts. I remember hearing other reports that there's also supposed to be like a babysitter involved in this movie, since we know Sydney has other kids. And I think if this movie was Scream 5, I probably would be jumping up and down and going, this makes sense. This is a smart route to go down. I can already see the parallels of Sydney being an overprotective mom, being really strict on her daughter, not wanting her to have boyfriends, all this kind of stuff. Maybe there's some tension there. But there is a part of me also going, well, so this is the fourth try we're going to try the new group of high school friends who are being chased after Ghostface. We had Sydney and her friends in the first movie. Then we had Scream 4, where we had the new group of teenagers that were also being chased after Ghostface. Then we got to Scream 5, where it was those group of teens and high schoolers being after Ghostface. And now Scream 7, we're doing it once again, a group of teens being chased after Ghostface. I guess that's the standard formula to go down on, but that has always been my biggest complaint. Putting all the controversy and stuff aside with Scream 7 is I'm tired of the formula. That's one of the things that made me really upset with the ending of Scream 6 is everything about that movie felt new and fresh until the last 10 to 15 minutes when it felt like they were just copying Scream 2. They went back to their formula, and that's not what I want Scream to be. I don't need it to have a form. I want it to be kind of breaking the mold and doing new things. And for all we know, it could still be. This could just be the basic setup, making it look like a formulaic Scream movie, and then it turns our heads around as the movie goes on. And the last rumor I'm going to mention with Scream 7, and take it with a major grain of salt here, they're saying that Sydney's daughter is possibly going to be played by McKenna Grace, and I'm going to tell you right now, I would love that casting. McKenna Grace, I think, is a great actress. Very much have enjoyed her in everything I've seen her, and there's a part of me that feels like her being the daughter of Sydney could be something really special. Also because I know Spyglass is trying to milk this franchise all the way to the ground. If they're not letting me have Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega, and we need a new face to kind of carry on these next couple of movies, McKenna Grace is a face I wouldn't mind. Still, we'll see though, because there's been other rumored casting for Scream 7, and the actors have gotten online and be like, what? I'm not part of this movie. But I throw it off to you guys now. How are you feeling about these first kind of plot details for Scream 7? Bring this now to give a small update on Spider-Man 4. And guys, it's time to give up the fight. There was still a little bit of hesitancy in our minds whether Scream 4 would really be a movie set up by Venom 3. And these latest comments about Knull and his inclusion in the film make it very obvious Spider-Man is looking to go up against Knull. We're in spoiler territory now, and I hope some of the fans watching this movie is not knowing what will happen. But trust me, we know full well how important Knull is to the fans, so just as we laid a foundation for Venom, we are hoping to do the same for Knull. The King of Black is way too powerful for one and done. Continuing on, the film Venom 3 introduces Knull, but it just touches of the beginning of his story. Marvel's greatest villains are developed over time. Here, Knull is the threat lurking behind the danger that tests the absolute limits of Eddie and Venom's partnership. And so if you really step back and think about everything Sony has coming out right now, which is Venom 3, Kraven the Hunter, and Spider-Man 4, not including the animated stuff. These are the only 3 live-action movies we know are coming up, and I fully believe Tom Hardy when he says he's done making solo Venom movies. I don't think he's done playing Venom, but I think he is done making Venom movies. We're not going to see a Venom 4, 5, or 6. So with that in mind, and them saying Venom 3, the last Venom movie, is only a tease of Knull. He's not a one and done, and there's more to come. Well, I ain't no mathematician, but putting 2 and 2 together, what do you think that means for Spider-Man 4? Ain't no way they're continuing Knull's storyline in a Kraven the Hunter movie or sequel. This, to me, makes it as clear as possible. Knull really is going to be included in Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies, And that's just an idea we have to get used to. I don't exactly love it. I'm curious about it for sure. But dude, that's not where I thought they were getting ready to take the franchise. Still though, Sony sometimes is like Warner Brothers, where audience reaction will make them flip their idea. So Venom 3 could come out, people hate it, they don't like the Knull idea, then don't worry, we're probably not seeing Knull in Spider-Man. But all signs right now are pointing this actually is happening. This is the route they're going down. And can you imagine telling all Spider-Man fans this even 2 months ago, when we did not know this was the way they were going to go? How are you guys feeling about the creators saying, no, this is just a setup, he's going to be in that chair for most of the movie, there's more to come? Where is it going to come if not Spider-Man 4? Bringing us now to talk about a brand new look to James Gunn's Superman movie that was revealed this morning. James Gunn took to his social media to reveal this promo video with David Cornsweet's Superman and our first look at Krypto the Superdog, along with the inspiration behind the dog. So reading off the post here, James Gunn says, Krypto arrives on screen in Superman this summer. Krypto was inspired by my dog Uzo, who was adopted shortly after I started writing Superman. Uzo, who came from a hoarding situation in a backyard with 60 other dogs and never knew human beings, was problematic to say the least. He immediately came in and destroyed our home, our shoes, our furniture, and he even ate my laptop. It took a long time before he would even let us touch him. I remember thinking, gosh, how difficult would life be if Uzu had superpowers? And thus, Krypto came into the script and changed the shape of the story as Uzu was changing my life. What better time to debut not so good boy Krypto than adopt a sheltered dog month? By the way, Uzu today is fairly often a very good boy. And I don't know how you could read that post, look at this beautiful promo work, and still have a hate in your heart for this movie, because I'm seeing it all around, man. I was like, dude, this looks nice. I like the video. Krypto maybe wouldn't have chosen that dog breed, but hearing the inspiration and why James Gunn went with that, I can accept it. Dude, I've been seeing so much unnecessary hate online for this. Granted, I think the majority of people are perfectly fine and are happy with this look at the movie, but the target on the back for this Superman film, there is some genuine people that want this thing to fail. And all I can think about is how happy I am we're actually getting a Superman movie with Krypto the Superdog. Like, they actually look so cool together, looking over Earth, sitting on what appears to be the moon. James Gunn showing us the comic panel inspiration for that. Like, this is so wholesome and fun. I cannot wait. See that, Noah? Why can't you have a tragic backstory I can exploit online for views?
But when she saw how expensive textbooks were,
Found that child. This is his first batch. The only other thing with this announcement now is it makes me wonder how big of a part Krypto will play into the Superman story. Is the dog's involvement just a small little part? Because James Gunn does say it shaped the script up a little bit, and we have seen some photos and videos where one of Superman's colleagues, Mr. Terrific, is trying to like tame or calm down Krypto, and it looks like Krypto might accidentally laser the foot of Mr. Terrific. So we are going to get some Krypto scenes, but I wonder how big of a part he plays. Either way, we know Krypto plays a big part in the next Superman movie, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. But I throw it off to you guys. How are you feeling about this promo material? That again is promo material. This isn't actual footage of the movie. It was just for a cute little release online. Do you like it? Your thoughts on Krypto, how he plays into the story? Would love to hear it all down below. But anyways, guys, that is all movie news we currently have going on right now. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of my day to watch me talk some movie news. Don't be forgetting to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.